Eddie Congress in the chat. Is Josh Dix any good? Asking for a fan of a school rumored to be interested in his services. Oh boy, yeah. So early schools in on Josh Dix. If people missed this earlier, so Josh Dix did enter the portal here this week. It's not a video I've cut yet because we've had a flurry of other entries into the portal. But yes, Josh Dix entered earlier this week. And is he any good? Yeah. In fact, who was it earlier today? I believe it was either Robbie Hummel or Rafael Davis. Somebody for Big Ten Network posted something about Josh Dix, about how good this kid is and how underrated he is. I was shocked when I said, and I've watched less college basketball nationally since this show launched, especially the show with Kashin, because it just eats up a lot of time and I love it. But I watch less basketball on a national scale than I ever have in my life. So I'm certainly in no position to vote for all conference teams or certainly all American teams. I do think it's ironic that I say that because I think there's a lot of voters out there that don't watch the other games, don't watch the other teams, but that's, I guess, a discussion for another day. But I was shocked that Josh Dix didn't even get honorable mention all Big Ten. I think he's the best player on the team. I've been saying that a long time, with all due respect to Peyton Sandfort. And he's going to get paid somewhere. I mean, he's going to get paid. He can make just about any shot. He finishes at the rim better than anybody else on this team. Got a great step back. I think he's got NBA game. I think the one question for the next level is athleticism, at ability to defend. Now, there were people within the Iowa circle that touted him as some great defender. He was one of their best defenders relative to the rest of the team, because it doesn't sound like our commenter here in the chat is an Iowa fan that asked the question. So if you haven't watched Iowa basketball, there aren't many people that defend. And so Josh Dix is a decent defender. Now, what he'll be wherever he ends up, if he goes to a blue blood, I think he has a chance to do that. He may be a bit of a liability at times against the quicker guards. And certainly in the NBA, he'll be a liability. I think unless he can improve lateral quickness and discipline, he'll have a year to learn under whoever he ends up playing for. I don't think it'll be Iowa. I don't think he's coming back. And I'm not going to sit here and say, I hope he doesn't. I made this comment, I think it was yesterday, in talking about Cooper Koch, who also entered the portal. I think there's a good chance he comes back. But Josh Dix is likely going to get high six figures. I mean, I'm no NIL expert. I'm no collective expert. But I think he's going to be wanted. I mean, we've already had reports from On3. Joe Tipton of On3 already has reported that Alabama, Creighton, Illinois, Nebraska, Tennessee, Iowa State have already been in contact with him, according to sources. So, and that was, I think, 2 days ago when he initially entered. And I'm sure people have been tampering. But as I said, he can make all the shots, got a great step back, great fadeaway jumper from two, which is sort of a lost art. There aren't a ton of players who can make that shot or like to make that shot, but he can also hit threes without looking at Iowa's three-point shooters percentage-wise. My guess is that he's toward the top as it relates to overall percentage. He's certainly higher than Peyton Sandfort. He doesn't force shots, which I think is a good thing. He's going to be a 3-and-D type player. Now, he doesn't have great size at 6'2", but boy, wherever he ends up, he's going to be a starter. In fact, the comment that was made earlier today, let me see if I can pull this up on Twitter. This is from Rafael Davis. Yeah, so Rafael said, and I quote, "I do not think people realize how good Josh Dix is, man. Dude could go to any team in the conference and start day one." Now, here's the deal. This is a further indictment on Iowa's ability to win, right? It is, because this kid is the real deal. I've been saying this for a long time, even during the season before we knew that Fran McCaffrey was gonzo. I made that statement that, man, this kid is good and he ought to be playing for a better team. Again, I don't want him to go anywhere, but I just don't know that Iowa can compete financially. I think he's probably got the best valuation, NIL valuation, of anybody on the team. I mean, maybe Owen Freeman because he's a big, but Josh Dix is just a better player. Now, he only gives you 1 year. Owen Freeman will give, wherever he goes, he'll give him a couple of years as it relates to eligibility. But look at that step back. And he shoots contested jump shots all day long and makes a lot of them. He makes tough shots, finishes with both hands. Again, can shoot it anywhere on the floor and defends. So, yeah, and he's played some point at Iowa. That's the other thing. He's played point guard at Iowa. So he'll enter the portal, and maybe, just maybe, he'll consider a return. I just don't think Iowa has the funding to be able to make that work. And I hope I'm wrong because I believe, again, he's their best player. But again, he entered the portal here this week. And sounds like, according to Rob Reinhart of, let's see, where is Rom? He's looks like an Auburn reporter, that he's already heard from the likes of Michigan State, Louisville, Auburn, and Providence as well. On3 has him as their number one portal prospect. Now, again, the official portal window hasn't opened, but it's open for Iowa because of the head coaching change. And hey, Indiana's one to watch because of the Darian DeVries connection. He recruited him at Drake. Darian DeVries did. Now, Josh Dix said when he initially entered the portal here this week, here is an official statement from Josh Dix. For Iowa fans who are curious about if he mentioned anything about returning, he did not. And there were several guys who did. He said, "Dear Hawkeye Nation, I want to thank Coach McCaffrey and the entire staff for giving me the opportunity to live out my dream. Wearing the black and gold has been a true blessing, and I will forever cherish the memories I made in Iowa City. To my teammates and managers, thank you for showing up every day to work alongside me. We built a true brotherhood. To the fans, I appreciate your support and the great experiences along the way. Due to the recent coaching change, and after reflecting with my family, I've decided to enter the transfer portal." I do kind of think it's funny, these kids like Josh Dix, Owen Freeman, and even Brock Harding, who keep citing the coaching change. But all three of those guys were rumored to leave, especially the other two from Moline. They were rumored to leave midseason. So I'm not saying that was official, but I think all three of these guys, especially the other two, Freeman and Harding, were gone no matter what. I really do believe that. I don't think the coaching change. I think the coaching change was just an opportunity to get in the portal earlier. I think they'd been tampered with, and they had an idea what their value was elsewhere, and that's the problem with college sports. So Josh Dix enters the portal. Great kid, as far as I'm aware. Silent killer, silent leader. His work ethic and his example on the court is the way he leads. So that's my valuation. That's my 2 cents as it relates to the news that Josh Dix, Iowa guard, who has 1 year of eligibility remaining, has entered the portal with aspirations of going elsewhere.